Before we begin, if you've ever been underestimated, overlooked, or betrayed, this story is for you. He slept with my friend because I gained weight isn't just revenge fiction. It's a razor-sharp descent into reclaiming power, dignity, and control. Hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you're ready to witness Natalie James rewrite the rules of payback. Chapter 1: Betrayal Served on a Silver Platter. The day everything changed. The floor-to-ceiling mirrors in my bedroom are both confidants and critics, reflecting every ounce of my insecurity back at me. I glide past them, the luxurious fabric of my silk robe whispering against my skin, a stark contrast to the weight of my thoughts. I should feel like the queen of my own castle, but the crown feels heavy today, just like my body. I catch sight of myself, the softness that has crept in where there used to be sharp angles. My self-worth, once tangled in the silk of designer clothes and the sharp edge of confidence, is now a frayed hem. I can hear Larry's laughter echoing through my mind, once sweet and intoxicating, now a bitter reminder of what I thought we had. The last time we made love, it felt like a charity event. He was doing me a favor, and I was a ticking time bomb of doubt. His hands, once so eager, now felt like they were searching for something they couldn't find. I used to think intimacy was a dance, but now it feels like a clumsy shuffle, a series of missed steps. I sink onto the plush velvet chaise lounge, the fabric cool against my heated cheeks. I remember the nights he whispered sweet nothings that curled around my heart like ivy. I remember how easy it was to believe. But now, the whispers have turned to echoes, and I am left with the hollow sound of betrayal. I pull my phone from the pocket of my robe, the device buzzing with notifications that seem to taunt me. Friends posting vacation photos, couples sharing intimate moments, and there I am, an island of solitude in a sea of connection. I scroll mindlessly, but it's the text from Becky that brings it all crashing down. A picture of her and Larry, laughing under the twinkling lights of a rooftop bar in Buckhead, where the Atlanta elite gather to feast on gossip and overpriced cocktails. They look so perfectly at ease, their smiles bright against the backdrop of the city, while I sit here in my own darkness, grappling with my insecurities. I can almost hear their laughter in my mind, like a cold wind cutting through the warmth of my memories. It's a betrayal served on a silver platter, and I refuse to be the one left licking the plate clean. I rise, the silk pooling around my feet as I straighten. This isn't just about weight or insecurity anymore, it's about reclaiming my power. I will not scream. I will not beg. I will use this moment of humiliation to fuel the fire of my revenge. In the heart of Atlanta, reputation is currency, and I am ready to spend it. I stand in the middle of my living room, a battlefield of silk and sequins strewn around me as I sift through the remnants of my self-doubt. The floor-to-ceiling windows frame the Atlanta skyline like a backdrop for a tragic opera. But tonight, I am not here to play the lead role in sorrow. I am here to reclaim my narrative, to shed the layers of betrayal like a snake shedding skin. I pull out a stunning black dress, form-fitting, daring, the kind that clings to curves I've felt ashamed of lately. It whispers promises of allure, of confidence, and I can almost taste the power it offers. I slip into it, zipping the fabric up with a flick of my wrist, feeling the fabric hug my body like an old lover. Wow, that's a bold choice. Larry's voice slices through the air, rich with condescension as he leans against the doorway, arms crossed. The flicker of his gaze lingers on my hips, and his lips twist into a smile that feels more like a smirk. Are you sure that's the one? His words curl around my heart like a python, squeezing tightly. I force a smile, the kind that doesn't reach my eyes. I am just trying something new. You know, like how you tried something new with Becky. I let the words hang in the air, a silent challenge. He raises an eyebrow, feigning innocence. Becky, come on, that's ancient history. But the way his eyes dart away betrays him. The man is a master of deflection, but I am not buying it. The unease between us crackles like static electricity, a palpable tension that thickens the air. Ancient history. Right. I adjust my hair in the mirror, letting the soft waves cascade over my shoulders, an armor of femininity against his barbs. Maybe I will wear this dress to the rooftop tonight. You know, where you and Becky had your little rendezvous. He shifts uncomfortably, and for a fleeting moment, I see the mask slip. Natalie, I cut him off with a laugh, sharp and biting. You don't have to explain. Just remember, every crown has its weight. The truth is, I am not just dressing to impress him. I am dressing to reclaim my power. The Atlanta nightlife is a cruel mistress, but tonight, I won't be its victim. As we step out into the night, the city's pulse thrums beneath our feet, each heartbeat a reminder of the world that's judging us. I can feel the whispers of the elite trailing behind us like a shadow, but I am no longer afraid of the light they cast on my flaws. Tonight, I will be the one shining. Just wait and see. The rooftop restaurant buzzes with the kind of energy that makes you feel alive and utterly exposed at once. Floor-to-ceiling glass walls frame the Atlanta skyline, the city lights twinkling like the eyes of countless judgmental spectators. I step into the opulent space, and the aroma of gourmet cuisine mingles with the scent of expensive cologne and perfumed secrets. Larry struts ahead, weaving through the candlelit tables with the confidence of a man who thinks he owns the night. His charm is on full display, and I can feel the undercurrent of admiration and envy from the patrons. The whispers are like a soft wind brushing against my skin, both intoxicating and suffocating. Look at them, I can almost hear the thoughts, the perfect couple. But beneath that faade, I sense the cracks forming, like a delicate porcelain vase poised to shatter. I catch a glimpse of ourselves in the reflective glass. He looks dapper in his tailored suit. I am sure he wowed already forgotten the weight of my insecurities, while I am acutely aware of every curve that feels more like a burden tonight. My heart races not from excitement, but from the sharp sting of judgment. Can you believe this place? Larry's voice pulls me back, oozing with that feigned enthusiasm. He gestures to a table of influencers, their laughter ringing out like a bell, clanging against my resolve. I nod, feigning interest, but my mind is elsewhere, parsing the way he interacts with them, flirtatious glances, lingering touches. It's all part of his performance, the man of the hour, the king of superficiality. I take a deep breath, the crisp air filling my lungs like a burst of adrenaline. Yeah, it's quite the scene, I say, my voice steady, though the fire in my belly simmers. It's a reminder that I am not just a spectator. I am part of this game, and I refuse to play the victim. As we settle into our seats, I watch him charm the waitress, his laughter bubbling like champagne, while I can feel the weight of his disregard pressing against my heart. I can almost hear the whispers now, not of admiration, but of pity. Poor Natalie, stuck with a man who's more interested in the spotlight than her. But tonight, I am not just here to play the dutiful partner. I am here to reclaim my narrative. I won't scream or beg. I will weaponize this moment. I will turn the tables, and when the spotlight is on me, I will show them the truth behind the glitter and glam. As I sip my Prosecco, the bubbles fizzing against my lips, I realize this isn't just about him and Becky anymore. It's about me. The atmosphere is thick with the scent of truffle oil and unspoken truths as I sit across from Larry, our table nestled in the corner of the rooftop restaurant. The flickering candlelight dances across his face, casting shadows that hide the deceit lurking just beneath the surface. I can feel the weight of expectation pressing down, not just from him, but from the entire room, the elite of Atlanta, who thrive on gossip and scandal. As I sip my Prosecco, I catch snippets of conversation from the nearby table, where a couple leans in close, their voices low but clear enough to slice through the ambient chatter. "Did you hear about Larry and Becky?" The woman whispers, her eyes darting around as if the walls themselves might betray her. A chill runs down my spine, and I grit my teeth, forcing myself to focus on the swirling bubbles in my glass. But their words are a poison seeping into my bloodstream. "I heard they've been seeing each other for months. Can you believe it? That Natalie had no idea." My heart races, not with fear but with a fury ignited by their casual cruelty. They might as well be holding a mirror to my heart, reflecting every ounce of betrayal and humiliation. I can feel my composure shattering like glass, splintering into a million pieces. "Did you really think he vowed stay faithful?" The man's tone drips with condescension. "He is too charming for that." Charming. That's how Larry always sold himself. A polished exterior masking a heart full of self-interest. I glance at him, his laughter ringing out like a siren call, oblivious to the storm brewing inside me. The clinking of cutlery and the soft murmurs of the elite blend with my thoughts, each sound a reminder of the fod we've constructed. I refuse to be the woman they pity, the one who begs for explanations. No, I won't scream. I won't beg. Instead, I will orchestrate. The realization washes over me like a rush of cold air, invigorating and terrifying in equal measure. The couple at the next table continues their cruel commentary, but I tune them out, focusing on the fire building in my belly. I have the tools to turn this around. I can rebrand myself, take control of this narrative that has so viciously spiraled out of my hands. "Are you okay?" Larry asks, his voice laced with concern, but I can hear the underlying skepticism. He knows something's shifted in me. Just thinking about how to make the most of the evening, I reply, my smile sharp enough to cut. "After all, this is about more than just dinner, isn't it?" The night stretches before me, a canvas of possibilities, and I am ready to paint it with bold strokes. I stand in my upscale apartment, the remnants of my former confidence scattered like confetti on the floor. The soft glow from the designer lamps reflects off the sleek furniture, creating an illusion of warmth that feels entirely foreign. This space once buzzed with laughter and dreams, now it hums with the echoes of betrayal. My gaze drifts to the floor-to-ceiling windows, where the Atlanta skyline glimmers like a million fractured promises. The city below pulses with life, a stark contrast to the chaos churning inside me. I can almost hear the whispers of my peers, a chorus of judgment and pity, trailing behind me like a lingering perfume I can't wash off. Poor Natalie, betrayed by her best friend and her lover, but I refuse to be the subject of their gossip. I wrap my arms around myself, not out of fear but as a reminder that I am still here, still breathing. The weight I felt, both physical and emotional, begins to shift. I won't let this define me. I won't scream. I won't beg. Instead, I will orchestrate. The thought ignites a fire in my belly, a spark of revenge that flashes like a neon sign in the night. I can't change what Larry and Becky have done, but I can change how this story ends. My mind races through a series of calculated moves, each one sharper than the last. I have the skills, the connections, everything I need to dismantle the illusion they've constructed. I take a deep breath, inhaling the scent of the lavender candles I strategically placed around the room. They remind me of calm, but tonight, I need the storm. I envision Larry's polished smile, the way he charms the room, and the way everyone, myself included, has fallen under his spell. But charm is nothing without substance, and beneath his shiny exterior lies a hollow core. Let's see how well you can manage when the spotlight shines on your flaws, I murmur to myself, my reflection in the glass a fierce reminder of my resolve. Suddenly, I am gripped by the desire to take control of my narrative. I pull out my laptop, the screen glowing like a portal to possibilities. My fingers hover above the keyboard, ready to plot my revenge like a master strategist. It's time to create a new persona, one that contrasts sharply with the woman who allowed herself to be blindsided. I begin drafting a campaign, not just for my career, but for my life, an intricate tapestry of social media posts, public appearances, and subtle nods to my betrayers. I will make sure Larry and Becky feel every ounce of my wrath, not through chaos but through calculated precision. Each keystroke reverberates with purpose. I am not just reclaiming my power, I am redefining it. The rooftop restaurant is alive, a pulsing heart of Atlanta's elite, where laughter floats like confetti in the warm night air. Floor-to-ceiling glass frames the city, a shimmering backdrop that feels both inviting and suffocating. Candlelit tables flicker with secrets, and I can almost taste the tension, thick as the chilled Prosecco in my glass. I scan the room, spotting Becky at a table in the corner, her laughter forced, her eyes darting like a deer caught in headlights. Something's off. She is my best friend, yet tonight, she feels more like a stranger wrapped in the veil of betrayal. The whispers around us are sharper than the clinking of crystal. They slice through the ambience, hinting at the unsaid. I take a sip, the bubbles fizzing on my tongue, a reminder of the pleasure I used to revel in. But tonight, I am not here for indulgence. I am here for confrontation. Becky waves me over, a smile plastered on her face, but I see the cracks. Her hands tremble slightly as she fiddles with her hair, a nervous habit she never had before. "You look amazing, Nat," she exclaims, but the compliment feels like a dagger coated in sweetness. "Thanks," I reply, my voice steady, though my pulse races with a mix of anticipation and dread. "You too." I can't help but notice how her dress hugs her curves just a bit too tightly, like an actor playing a role that doesn't quite fit. As I settle across from her, I can feel the weight of unspoken words pressing down like the humid Atlanta air. It's suffocating, and I am on the verge of breaking the silence, but there's a part of me that wants to savor this moment. I want to watch her squirm, to see if she will crack first. "Have you been busy with work?" I ask, feigning casual interest, while my mind races, piecing together the fragments of our friendship I thought were solid. She nods, her gaze darting to her phone, a flicker of guilt illuminating her expression. "Yeah, just the usual," she replies, but I don't miss the quaver in her voice. The usual or the unusual? My heart quickens. I know this woman, every nuance, every smile hiding a deeper truth. The air around us grows thick with anticipation, a storm brewing, ready to unleash its fury. "Becky, is there something you want to tell me?" I lean forward, my voice low, the tension crackling between us like static electricity. She hesitates, and in that moment I know. The betrayal, the whispers, the laughter, it all hangs in the air, waiting to be unleashed. I lean back in my chair, the thrum of the rooftop restaurant buzzing around us like a live wire. Atlanta's skyline glimmers through the glass, a million lights flickering like the whispers of secrets waiting to spill. The air is thick with the scent of expensive perfume and the clinking of glasses, but the only sound that matters is the one echoing in my mind: betrayal. "Nat, you really look stunning tonight," Becky says, her voice coated in a sweetness that feels almost sickly. I can see the way her eyes dart, avoiding my gaze. She is playing a role, and I am no longer sure which version of her is real. "Thanks, Becky. You look lovely, too," I reply, the words slipping out as easily as the ice in my Prosecco tumbler. She is wearing that tight-fitting dress that hugs her curves, showcasing every inch of her, every inch I once celebrated. Tonight, it feels like a masquerade, a costume for a performance that's about to come crashing down. I take a sip, letting the bubbles dance on my tongue, a reminder of the sparkling version of myself I used to be. "So, tell me, what's been keeping you busy?" I ask, weaving my words with a casualness that belies the storm brewing inside me. "Oh, the usual marketing chaos. Clients, deadlines, the works," she replies, her laughter too bright, too forced. The tension tightening in her shoulders tells me she is lying. "And you, still doing the whole marketing executive thing. Still climbing that corporate ladder," I say, keeping my tone light, though I can feel the weight of my own ambition pressing down. It's like a game of chess, each word a calculated move. I am probing, testing her defenses, looking for the crack that will let the truth seep through. "Good for you, Nat. You always were the ambitious one," she chirps, but I can sense the sting behind her compliment. The way she emphasizes my past ambition feels like a jab, an acknowledgement of the weight that's been added to me, in every sense of the word. "Becky, is there something you want to tell me?" My voice drops, low and steady, cutting through the din of laughter and clinking glasses. I lean forward, my eyes locked onto hers, searching for a flicker of honesty. Her breath catches, a moment of hesitation that feels like a lifetime. "What do you mean?" She deflects, but the tremor in her voice betrays her. I can almost taste the truth on the tip of my tongue, bitter and sharp. The silence stretches, thicker now, and I revel in the tension, knowing that the night is still young and the game is just beginning. I am not here to scream or beg, I am here to expose the truth. The rooftop restaurant hums with the pulse of Atlanta's elite, but I am drowning in a different kind of noise. It's the laughter from the nearby table, a sound that cuts through the air like a serrated knife. I glance over, and there he is, Larry, my charming partner, leaning back in his chair, the picture of relaxed confidence. He is surrounded by a couple I don't recognize, but that doesn't matter. It's the way he leans in, the way his laughter dances like a flame, that sends a chill down my spine. "Larry, you always know how to make a woman feel special," a sultry voice chimes from across the table. I squint, the dim candlelight casting shadows that obscure her face, but the words hit me like a slap. The woman's laughter is too bright, too inviting, just like the way I used to feel around him. I take a deep breath, the chilled Prosecco fizzing in my glass, but it suddenly tastes flat. I can't look away. He is flirting. My stomach sinks, the realization clawing at me like a wild animal. "Of course, darling. It's easy when you're so captivating," he replies, his voice smooth as silk, slick with charm. I can almost see the way he winks, the way his eyes glimmer with the kind of mischief I thought was reserved for me alone. The betrayal crashes over me like a wave, and for a moment I feel weightless, suspended in disbelief. It's not just the words, it's the intimacy, the way he holds her gaze, the spark I once thought was ours. I am not going to scream. I am not going to beg. Instead, a fire ignites within me, fierce and primal. This isn't just about him or her, it's about reclaiming what's mine. I lean in, my heart pounding, and catch snippets of their conversation. "You're so refreshing, unlike some of the girls I know," he says, and the words twist like a knife in my gut. The pieces of the puzzle fall into place with a clarity that's almost dizzying. I can't breathe. I can't think. All I feel is a surge of power, a rush of adrenaline that ignites my senses. This isn't despair, this is empowerment. I won't be the victim in this story. I sit back, a wicked smile creeping onto my lips. The betrayal isn't just a wound, it's a weapon. The tension in the air shifts, and I relish the knowledge that I can turn this pain into something beautiful, something lethal. As I swirl the remnants of my Prosecco, I know I have a plan forming beneath the surface, sharp and calculated. This is just the beginning. The rooftop terrace glimmers under the stars, a backdrop of luxury that feels starkly out of place against the turmoil churning inside me. The city sprawls beneath, a web of lights that twinkle like promises long broken. I can hear the soft clinking of glasses behind me, laughter wafting through the air carefree and innocent. But here, in this moment, I am anything but carefree. Becky, I say, my voice low and steady, cutting through the hum of the night like a knife. What the hell were you thinking? She flinches, the facade of confidence shattering in an instant. She stutters, her eyes darting away, unable to meet mine. I didn't mean for it to happen. It just what? I hiss, stepping closer, the cool night air between us crackling with tension. You just couldn't resist the allure of my sloppy seconds. Or is it the thrill of betrayal that got you off? Her expression morphs from guilt to indignation in a heartbeat. You're twisting this, Nat. We were just friends. You've changed. She fires back, her words laced with a desperation that only fuels my resolve. I am the one who's changed. Changed? You mean I stopped being the girlfriend you could rely on to make you feel better about your own insecurities? I cross my arms, my heart pounding not from rage, but from the intoxicating taste of power. You were my best friend, Becky. I was there for you through everything. And this is how you repay me. I wasn't trying to hurt you. She pleads, her voice rising above the gentle rustle of the night. Larry and it just happened. I thought you thought I was what? Depressed, fat, unworthy. My words slice through the night, raw and unfiltered, revealing the jagged edges of a friendship I once cherished. You're telling me you took the easy way out, right into his arms while I was struggling. Becky's face flushes, and I can taste the bitterness of her regret hanging in the air like an uninvited guest. For all her bravado, she is a shattered mirror reflecting my own insecurities. I didn't think you'd care, she murmurs, her voice softening, but it's too late. The truth is out, and it bears the weight of 1,000 betrayals. Care? I echo, a manic laugh escaping my lips. You have no idea how much I care. But this is a game I intend to win. I step back, letting the chill of the night wrap around me like a cloak of resolve. I am done playing by his rules. The silence in my bedroom wraps around me like a fog, thick and suffocating, but I refuse to let it smother my resolve. It's a stark contrast to the chaos of the rooftop restaurant, where laughter and whispered secrets danced like a waltz. Here, in the dim light of my sanctuary, I can hear my own thoughts echoing louder than the screams of betrayal that linger in my chest. I sit on the edge of my bed, the plush fabric cool against my skin, and I can almost feel the weight of my past pressing down on me. But this isn't a time for despair, it's a time for strategy. I pull out my notebook, the pages crisp and waiting, like a canvas eager for paint. The top of the first page reads Operation Phoenix, a fitting name for the rebirth I am about to orchestrate. First, let's talk about Larry. I muse, running a pen along the margins, my mind buzzing with ideas. The man who once held my heart now holds a place on my list of targets. Charming, successful, and utterly oblivious to the storm brewing in his wake. He thinks he can waltz away unscathed with Becky in tow, but he has no idea who he is dealing with. I am not just a woman scorned. I am a marketing executive with a penchant for revenge. As I scribble, my thoughts take on a life of their own. Dismantle his reputation, I write, underlining the phrase with a flourish. Larry's polished image is built on a shaky foundation, and I know the cracks that run through it. The whispers of his questionable business dealings, the rumors about his affairs, all the juicy bits that could turn him from the golden boy of Atlanta's elite into a cautionary tale. I can taste the sweet anticipation of each meticulously crafted move. It's not just about the revenge. It's about reclaiming my narrative, flipping the script on the story they've written for me. I deserve more than the role of the heartbroken girlfriend. I can be the architect of my own rise, and they will be the architects of their own downfall. In this moment of clarity, I feel a rush of power surging through me, igniting every nerve ending. I won't be the woman who wallows in self-pity. I will be the woman who uses her pain as fuel, who embraces the chaos and channels it into something fierce and unstoppable. Next, Becky, I whisper, the name tasting bitter on my tongue. She might have thought she was gaining something by betraying me, but she, too, will learn that trust, once broken, is a weapon. I will turn her friends against her with the same ease she turned against me. A little whisper here, a little gossip there, and a little gossipy here. Chapter 2. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Natalie's strategic play. The glass walls of my office offer a panoramic view of Atlanta, a city that looks stunning from this height, but is riddled with the kind of dirt that thrives below the surface. I sit at my sleek, minimalist desk, a fortress of polished wood and steel, and stare at my reflection in the floor-to-ceiling windows. The woman who gazes back is not the one who cowered in the corner of a dimly lit bar last week, heart breaking like cheap glass under the weight of betrayal. No, this woman is a concoction of fury and ambition, ready to harness her pain and turn it into something sharp, something deadly. I lean back in my chair, letting the cool leather embrace me like a lover who knows my darkest secrets. What once felt like defeat now vibrates with potential, a rich soil for revenge to take root. Larry Cole, the man who shattered my trust with the delicate precision of a surgeon's scalpel, barely knows what's coming. He thinks he is untouchable. He thinks his charm shields him from the consequences of his actions. But I am no longer his naive girlfriend. I am a marketing executive with a penchant for strategy and a flair for the dramatic. My fingers dance over my keyboard as I pull up his social media accounts and the polished images he curates so carefully. Each post is a facade, a glossy veneer that masks the rot beneath. Oh, Larry, how many times did I tell you reputation is a currency? And now, it's time to bankrupt you. I can almost taste the sweet irony on my lips, like chilled Prosecco on a summer night. I think back to the countless hours I spent crafting campaigns that made brands shine. The thrill of watching my work transform perception, how it felt to wield that power. Now, I will do the same for Larry, but with a twist. Instead of elevating him, I will drag him down. I will expose the cracks in his polished image, revealing the self-serving, shallow man he really is. The world will see him for what he truly is, an opportunist with a predilection for betrayal. Focus, Natalie, I murmur to myself, the weight of determination settling over me like a tailored suit. I start to map out a plan, each detail unfolding like a silk scarf rolling out from a drawer. First, I will create a narrative, something that will catch fire in the gossip-hungry circles of Atlanta's elite. I have insider connections, friends in the right places, all eager to hear the latest scandal. I will plant the seeds of doubt, letting whispers bloom into full-blown rumors. Larry's reputation will wilt like a flower deprived of sunlight, and I will be the sun, shining brightly while his world darkens. As I sketch out potential headlines in my mind, I can almost hear the gasps echoing through the parties where we once laughed, the clinking of glasses drowning out the sound of my heart as it broke. But tonight, I won't just be a participant. I will be the puppeteer, pulling strings from behind the curtain, orchestrating a symphony of humiliation that will crescendo at the perfect moment. I lean forward, my fingers poised over the keys, and I can almost feel the heat of the flames licking at my feet. The thrill of revenge is intoxicating, a heady mix of power and pleasure. I am not just handling this, I am redefining the game. And when the dust settles, I will rise from this ashes, a phoenix reborn, with a reputation that outshines the sun. The brainstorming area of my office buzzes with the electric potential of my fury. Whiteboards line the walls, each one a canvas for my tactical genius, waiting to be splashed with the colors of revenge. I grab a dry erase marker, its smooth tip gliding across the board, mapping out my intricate web of manipulation. Larry's charm will soon become his greatest liability. The fluorescent lights overhead hum like a swarm of angry bees, but I am immune to their buzz. My mind is a whirlwind of ideas, each one more deliciously wicked than the last. I can almost hear the whispers of the Atlanta elite, the way they will cluck their tongues and raise their eyebrows when the truth about Larry's duplicity slithers through their gilded circles. I smirk at the thought. Let's see how you handle a little exposure, shall we? I murmur, my voice a low growl of determination. I sketch out the first headline, beneath the surface, the real Larry Cole. It hangs there, a tantalizing promise of the scandal to come. I can visualize the shock rippling through the social events where he basks in admiration, his polished exterior cracking under the weight of public scrutiny. Next, I jot down potential angles. The charmer who cheats, a closer look at Atlanta's golden boy. The words pulse with dark energy, each stroke of the marker like a dagger aimed straight at his heart. I imagine the conversations over candlelit dinners at the rooftop restaurants, where the elite sip their cocktails, eyes glinting with intrigue as they dissect the latest revelations. Focus, Natalie, I whisper to myself as I pause to take a deep breath, letting the rush of adrenaline fuel my next move. The thrill of revenge is intoxicating, a heady cocktail mixed with power and pleasure. I step back, surveying my work. The board is a battlefield, each phrase a soldier ready to march into the fray. I think about how to leverage social media, those insatiable platforms that thrive on gossip like a starving beast. A few strategic posts from my carefully curated accounts, and Larry's image will be appended. I picture the hashtags trending, the comments bubbling with scandalous delight, the screenshots shared like currency among the social elite. #Larry the liar, #golden boy exposed, I whisper, tasting the words like fine wine. The public loves a fall from grace, and I am more than ready to serve it up on a silver platter. I close my eyes for a moment, imagining the fallout. Larry, the once adored darling of the business world, standing before a crowd that once worshipped him, now armed with the truth. The thought sends shivers down my spine, delightfully wicked shivers. I can almost feel the heat of the spotlight on his face, the way it will illuminate the cracks in his carefully crafted persona, exposing the self-serving coward beneath. Suddenly, a loud ping from my phone pulls me back to the present. It's a message from one of my insider friends, someone who knows the pulse of Atlanta's nightlife better than anyone. Heard whispers about Larry's latest escapades. What's going on? You okay? A smirk creeps across my lips. Just fine, I type back, fingers dancing over the screen. Working on a little project. Stay tuned. I can't help but feel exhilarated, the anticipation bubbling up inside me like champagne. This isn't just about revenge, it's about reclaiming my dignity. The calf buzzes with the kind of energy that wraps around you like a warm embrace. It's chic, with marble countertops and oversized light fixtures that dangle like modern chandeliers, casting a golden hue over the sea of latte cups and half-eaten pastries. I sink into a plush velvet chair, choosing a spot that offers a direct view of the entrance. My pulse quickens as I spot my contact, a journalist named Allison, weaving through the throngs of caffeine-hungry patrons. Allison's reputation precedes her sharp, ambitious, with a nose for scandal that rivals my own. She is the kind of woman who knows how to serve a story with a side of drama, and right now, that's exactly what I need. I wave her over, my lips curling into a smile that's as sweet as the macaroons displayed behind the glass counter. "You look like you're ready to spill some dirt," she teases, sliding into the seat across from me, her dark hair cascading over one shoulder. "More like ready to serve it," I reply, leaning in slightly, lowering my voice as if sharing a delicious secret. "I've got something you might find intriguing." Her eyes light up, a glimmer of excitement flickering behind those well-manicured lashes. I can almost see the wheels turning in her head, calculating the potential of what I am about to unfold. Let's just say, I've been doing some digging into Larry Cole's recent business dealings. I begin, my tone dripping with casual confidence. And it turns out, the golden boy might not be so golden after all. I watch her lean forward, the way her posture shifts from casual to attentive, hungry for the details I am about to serve up. The calf's ambient chatter fades into the background, and for a moment, it feels as if we're the only two people in the room, cocooned in our own world of treachery and ambition. "Go on," she urges, her pen poised above her notepad, ready to capture every word like a spider spinning a web. Larry's been playing fast and loose with his clients, making promises he can't keep. There are whispers of fraud, nothing concrete yet, but it's the kind of rumor that can spread like wildfire in the city. I let the implications hang in the air, watching as the realization dawns on her. This could be huge. "You're telling me he is not the reputable businessman everyone thinks he is?" she asks, her voice a mix of disbelief and intrigue. "Exactly," I say, a thrill racing through me. I want to craft a narrative that shows the other side of Larry Cole. The charming fod, the successful entrepreneur, it's all a carefully constructed illusion. I can give you the angles, the insider info, the connections that will make this story sing. She nods, clearly impressed. "And what's in it for you?" I take a sip of my cappuccino, letting the rich foam linger on my lips, savoring the moment before I respond. Consider it a little payback. I am not just a victim, I am the architect of my own narrative, and I want the world to see Larry for what he really is, a fraud hiding behind a smile. Her eyes narrow, the excitement morphing into a calculated curiosity. "I can work with this, but we need to play it smart. If we tip our hand too soon, it could backfire." "Trust me, I've got a plan," I assure her. The walls of my office, once a sanctuary of creativity, now pulse with the heartbeat of my vengeance. Notes and plans scatter across my desk like the remnants of a battle fought on a war-torn front. Each sheet contains the ink of my resolve, swirling with the darker hues of betrayal and the vivid reds of my newfound power. I sit amid the chaos. The soft hum of the overhead lights a constant reminder of the strategic game I am playing. Glancing at the whiteboard, I see the vision I've constructed. Larry Cole, the man behind the curtain, it boldly declares in thick, black strokes. My heart races at the thought of his carefully curated image shattering under the weight of the truth. The once adored businessman will stand exposed, vulnerable, and I will be the one wielding the scalpel of revelation. but beneath the thrill of revenge lies a flicker of pain. The betrayal stings like a fresh wound, raw and unhealed. I take a moment to breathe, letting the memories of Larry wash over me. His charming laughter, the way he wowed pull me close and promise that I was the only one who mattered. It all feels like a sick joke now. Why did I let his opinion of me shape my worth? I murmur to the empty room, my voice echoing back with a bitter laugh. The silence is loud, a heavy reminder of the emotional toll this all has taken. I refuse to be defined by a number on a scale, or the whispers of envy that trailed behind my once felt silhouette. Instead, I channel that pain into fuel, igniting a fire that burns hotter with each recollection. The hurt transforms into an arsenal, sharpening my focus and clarity. I am not just a woman scorned. I am the architect of my destiny. The Atlanta skyline stretches beyond the glass walls of my office, each building a testament to power and ambition just like me. I want to watch from my perch as the elite of this city gather, their glances flickering toward the latest drama. Larry's downfall will be the hottest topic at the rooftop restaurants, where gossip flows as freely as the overpriced cocktails. Let them talk, I whisper, a smirk curling on my lips. Let them wonder what went wrong with their golden boy. I lean back in my chair, letting the thrill of the impending chaos wash over me. The delicate balance of revenge and power is intoxicating, each heartbeat echoing with the promise of what's to come. I can almost taste the sweet, metallic tang of victory on my tongue. And there's Becky, my so-called best friend, who thought I wouldn't notice her treachery. She will be caught in the crossfire, collateral damage in my carefully orchestrated plan. The thought of her panic, her betrayal laid bare for all to see, sends a shiver of satisfaction through me. 2 for the price of 1, I muse, the words tasting deliciously wicked. They will both learn the hard way that loyalty isn't just a word, it's a currency I no longer trade in. As I return to my notes, I feel a renewed sense of purpose. I am not seeking closure, I am constructing a narrative that reclaims my power and redefines my worth. I am ready to serve my revenge, meticulously crafted and beautifully executed, like a dish prepared with the finest ingredients. With every keystroke, I am reinforcing the foundation of my plan, making sure it's solid enough to withstand any backlash. I will not falter, I will not fall. Chapter 3, The Tables Turn. Watch Larry's empire crumble. I step into the opulent ballroom of the luxury hotel, and the air thickens with the scent of expensive cologne and the soft hum of whispered conspiracies. It's a symphony of wealth, and I am the conductor. Crystal chandeliers dangle like frozen fireworks, casting a glow that dances across the faces of the Atlanta elite. I take a moment, my heels clicking softly against the polished marble floor, to let the energy wash over me. Confidence wraps around me like a designer scarf, and I can practically hear the fabric of their curiosity rustling. There he is, Larry, charming the crowd with that insufferable grin, the one that once made me weak in the knees. Now, it makes me want to vomit. His laughter punctuates the air, mingling with the clinking of champagne flutes. I can almost see the layers peeling off him, the polished veneer of success, revealing the shallow man beneath. As I glide through the throng, I catch snippets of conversation that taste like bitter wine. Did you hear about Larry and Becky? One socialite whispers, her eyes wide with delight. My pulse quickens. They're already talking, and we're just getting started. Oh, darling, it's scandalous. Right under Nadali's nose, another adds, a conspiratorial grin spreading across her face. The words wrap around me, a sweet poison feeding my resolve. I am not here to win back their admiration or sympathy. I am here to watch his empire crumble, brick by brick, with their hands stained in the process. I spot my target, a group of influencers sipping their cocktails, their social media feeds buzzing with the latest gossip. I smile, a Cheshire cat grin that could cut glass as I approach. My presence is magnetic. I can feel their eyes sliding over me, assessing the new Natalie, the one who's shed the weight of insecurity like a snake shedding its skin. "Darling, you look incredible," one of them exclaims, a half-truth wrapped in a velvet hug. I nod, allowing the compliment to wash over me like silk. But inside, I am a tempest. "Just wait until you hear the latest about Larry," I say, letting my voice drip with honey and malice. I hear it's more than just business he has been handling. The group leans in, eager for the next morsel of scandal. I can feel the tide shifting, my power surging like a current beneath the surface. With every word I drop, I draw them into my web, tightening the strands around Larry and Becky, ready to ensnare them in the chaos I am about to unleash. Tonight, the table is set for betrayal, and I am the one serving the feast. I weave through the cocktail area, the soft glow of candlelight flickering like secrets waiting to be whispered. Each conversation is a thread, and I am the skilled weaver, knotting together stories of doubt and intrigue. The plush velvet curtains frame the scene, a luxurious backdrop to my grand performance. The air buzzes with anticipation, a cocktail of gossip and martinis, and I am here to stir the pot. "Did you hear about Larry's latest investment?" I casually toss into the air, watching as the words hang like low-hanging fruit, ripe for the picking. The group of influencers turns to me, interest piqued, their manicured fingers clutching their drinks like lifelines. It's remarkable how quickly the narrative shifts. Just a few weeks ago, I was the one left behind, nursing my wounds while he paraded around like a golden boy. Now, I am the storm on the horizon, ready to unleash chaos. "Oh, it's not just his love life that's taking a hit," I add, my voice laced with a syrupy sweetness that masks the venom of my intent. "Have you heard about the shady dealings with that tech startup, the one he was so eager to promote?" A gasp ripples through the crowd, and I can almost taste their delight. This is the currency of Atlanta's elite: information, scandal, and the sweet thrill of a downfall. I lean in, lowering my voice to a conspiratorial whisper. "I would be careful investing in anything Larry touches lately. You know how it goes: once a charmer, always a conman." Their eyes widen, and I can see the wheels turning, the gears of gossip cranking into motion. I am not just planting seeds. I am sowing a garden of doubt that will flourish into a full-blown scandal. As I sip my drink, the bubbles tickle my throat, mingling with the bubbling excitement of my plan. I overhear two guests discussing Larry's recent business trips, their tone dripping with skepticism. I hear he was seen at that new club on Peachtree. Alone, or was it with someone? Perfect. I tuck that piece of intel away, a shiny gem to polish later. The whispers swirl around me like a silk scarf, wrapping me in a cocoon of power. My thoughts dance with the delicious anticipation of watching Larry's world tilt on its axis, all while I stand at the center of it, arms crossed, a smirk planted firmly on my lips. In this moment, I realize I am not just getting revenge. I am reclaiming my narrative, my power. I am the architect of his downfall, and the blueprints are unfurling beautifully. Tonight, while he basks in borrowed glory, I will be the one pulling the strings, orchestrating a symphony of chaos and destruction. I find Becky lurking in a dimly lit alcove, the shadows clinging to her like a guilty secret. The clamor of the ballroom fades, replaced by the low hum of electric tension that crackles between us. She looks up, her eyes wide, the mask of innocence slipping just enough for me to see the panic beneath. She is like a deer caught in the headlights of her own betrayal. Nat, she begins, voice quaking like the ice in her drink. I can explain. Oh, I am sure you can, I reply, letting my words drape over her like a silk scarf, soft yet suffocating. But let's skip the theatrics, shall we? You and Larry, really? My best friend and my boyfriend. That's the plot twist you thought I wouldn't catch. Her face flushes, a stark contrast against the opulence of the venue. It just happened, Natalie. I didn't mean for it to. That's rich coming from you. I step forward, closing the distance, the soft click of my heels echoing like a drum roll. You think I am the one who's been blind. I was just too busy being the supportive friend while you were busy playing the role of a backstabbing lover. She opens her mouth, but no words come out. A small victory, watching her flounder, but I am not done yet. Tell me, Becky, I continue, my voice low and lethal. How did it feel? Sneaking around behind my back, knowing I would be the last to find out. Did it feel good? Did it make you feel powerful? Her eyes narrow, the defiance bubbling just beneath her surface. You don't understand. You changed, Natalie. You let yourself go. I didn't want to what? Be the bad friend? Oh, please. I lean in closer, my breath warm against her cheek. You're not the victim here. You're not even the antagonist. You're just a coward trying to justify your betrayal. The flicker of guilt in her eyes dims, replaced by a flash of anger. You think you can just waltz in here, all empowered and glamorous, and pin this on me. You're not a victim, either. You've been hiding behind your weight and your insecurities. I can feel the heat rising in my chest, but I choke it down, knowing I am the one in control. Hiding? I am not hiding anymore, sweetheart. I am out here, ready to reveal the truth. And trust me, the truth is going to hurt a lot more than any weight gain ever did. The challenge hangs in the air, thick and palpable. The moment Larry steps onto the stage, a smug smile plastered on his face, I feel the energy shift in the room. The chatter dims, eyes honing in on him like moths to a flame. He is so effortlessly charming, with that perfectly styled hair and polished suit that screams success. But I know the truth: the man is a master of illusion, and tonight, I am the one holding the mirror. I stand in the back, drink in hand, the bubbles swirling like the chaos in my mind. The crowd hangs on his every word, but I can see the cracks forming in his facade. They are all waiting for something, a slip-up, a hint of the betrayal lurking beneath his polished exterior. Thank you all for your support, he begins, his voice smooth as silk, but I can't help but notice the slight tremor in his hands. As you know, our company has been thriving. I can't wait any longer. I stride forward, heels clicking on the marble floor, interrupting his speech with a confidence that feels intoxicating. Thrive? Is that what we're calling it, Larry? My voice cuts through the air, sharp and deliberate. The crowd parts like the Red Sea, all eyes pivoting to me, surprise painted across their faces. He falters, the charm slipping momentarily. Natalie, this isn't. Oh, but it is, I interject, savoring the tension curling in the air. Isn't it funny how you're up there talking about success, while the whispers of your dubious dealings dance around this very room? I just thought the truth deserved a spotlight of its own. Gasps ripple through the audience, and I relish each reaction, each flicker of doubt that spreads like wildfire. I catch the eye of a few influencers I've targeted, and I can see their minds racing, calculating how this will affect their own standing. Maybe we should discuss your latest investments. I continue, my tone dripping with honeyed malice. You know, the ones that have left so many questioning your integrity. Or perhaps we should talk about your new business trips, the kind that seem to include more than just meetings. Larry's jaw tightens, and I can almost hear the gears grinding in his brain, the panic rising. You don't know what you're talking about, he hisses, his voice low, but the facade is cracking. The audience murmurs, uncertainty palpable in the air. Oh, but I do, darling. I lean closer, letting the intimacy of my words seep into the crowd. You see, I've been collecting information, just as you've collected a string of hearts and bank accounts. It's all part of the same game, isn't it? The atmosphere thickens, like hot air before a storm. The room buzzes like a beehive, a cocktail of intrigue and disbelief. I can practically taste the fear radiating off Larry as he tries to regain his footing on the stage. The once supple charm has hardened into a brittle mask, and I savor every crack that splinters across his facade. Look at them, I murmur to myself, the words barely escaping my lips, but they resonate in the air between us. The Atlanta elite, the self-proclaimed connoisseurs of taste and style, and yet here they are, feasting on the drama like it's the last course of a lavish meal. I can see the whispers ripple through the crowd, eyes darting from him to me and back again. Is this really happening? I ask, a mocking smile tugging at my lips. You're up there, Larry, playing the role of the golden boy, while I am here to remind everyone just how tarnished that gold has become. He shifts uncomfortably, glancing around as though seeking an escape route. I notice his fingers twitching, a tell that screams panic. Natalie, stop this, he pleads, the smoothness of his voice replaced by a shaky urgency. Stop, I echo, letting the word hang in the air like a tantalizing promise. Oh, darling, we've only just begun. You see, I am not the villain in the story. You are. The man who pretended to love me while sinking his teeth into my best friend. And now, the audience deserves the truth. With every word, I see the tides shift. The distant clinking of champagne flutes becomes a chorus of muttering guests, their loyalty teetering like a high-wire act. I relish the unspoken questions hanging in the air: who will stay by his side, and who will bolt for the exit. The whispers grow louder, a cacophony of discomfort and disbelief. I catch snippets of conversations. Did you hear about the affair? I thought they were solid. He really messed up this time. Each phrase is a dagger, cutting deeper into Larry's carefully crafted image. He tries to smile, but it's a grimace, a forced attempt to maintain control. This isn't the time or place, Natalie, he retorts, the fog crumbling further. Time and place. I laugh, the sound sharp and intoxicating. This is exactly where I want to be, at the center of the chaos I've orchestrated. The truth has a way of spilling out, doesn't it? Like fine Prosecco too shaken to stay inside the bottle. I watch as the realization dawns on the guests, the unease palpable. Larry's empire, built on charm and deceit, is faltering, and I am just getting started. Chapter 4. Final Showdown, The Truth Behind the Facade. The moment I step into the private live stream suite, a shiver snakes down my spine. The air is thick with tension, and the soft hum of high-tech equipment is a reminder that this isn't just a room. It's a stage set for an unveiling, a reckoning. I glance at the floor-to-ceiling glass that encloses this luxurious cage, a stark contrast to the chaos brewing in my chest. This is where the truth will break free, and I am both terrified and electrified by the anticipation. I approach the slick, modern console, adjusting the cameras with the precision of a surgeon. Each lens feels like a pair of eyes, waiting to capture the moment when I pull back the curtain on Larry's carefully curated facade. I can almost hear his laughter, the charming notes that once wrapped around me like silk, now sounding like a death knell. What was once sweet now tastes like ash. I will not let the world see me tremble. I refuse to scream or beg. Instead, I will orchestrate this symphony of betrayal with the flair of a conductor. As I calibrate the angles, memories flood in moments of shared laughter that turned to mocking glances. the intimacy of whispered secrets, now tainted by betrayal. I remember the nights spent in blissful ignorance, believing that love could conquer all, even my own spiraling doubts. But those nights are gone, and in their place is a woman wielding power like a weapon, ready to unleash it in front of an audience that once adored him. I am no longer the one who gained weight. I am the one who's shedding the skin of my past. The dim lighting casts shadows across the room, and I can almost see the ghosts of my former self lurking in the corners. It's time to banish them. I take a deep breath, feeling the cool air fill my lungs, mingling with the lingering scent of expensive cologne Larry's scent. How ironic that it now symbolizes the very betrayal I am about to expose. I flick on the live stream feed, the red light blinking like a heartbeat, a pulse of my rising resolve. I am no longer just Natalie James, the woman scorned. I am the architect of this moment, ready to dismantle everything he built on the back of my trust. The world will see the truth, and as it unfolds, I will reclaim every piece of myself he thought he could steal. With a final glance at the cameras, I force a smirk. Let the game begin. The door swings open with an air of practiced nonchalance, and there he is, Larry Cole, striding into the suite like a king surveying his realm. Confidence radiates off him, cloaked in a tailored suit that screams success and charm. But beneath that polished exterior, I can see the cracks forming like a facade on the verge of crumbling. "Hey, Nat," he greets, his voice smooth, yet it grates on my nerves like nails on a chalkboard. "You look different, different," I echo, my lips curving into a smile sharp enough to slice through his bravado. "Is that your way of saying I look more empowered?" His eyes narrow slightly. A flicker of uncertainty shadows his otherwise charismatic facade. He is not expecting this version of me, the Natalie who has shed the weight of his betrayal like a bad skin. I lean back against the sleek glass table, the city lights twinkling outside like a constellation of secrets waiting to be unveiled. "Yes, empowered," he retorts, feigning ease. "Glad to see you're moving on. I was worried you'd be stuck in that depressive slump. Funny how you're the one who put me there," I counter, my tone light but my gaze piercing. "But I've come to understand that sometimes, gaining weight isn't as tragic as losing self-respect." The tension in the room thickens, crackling like the static before a storm. I can almost hear the hum of the live stream, the audience tuning in, their curiosity piqued. This is the moment I've orchestrated, the moment where his carefully crafted image will start to unravel. "Let's cut to the chase, shall we?" I say, raising an eyebrow and leaning forward, my voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "You see, Larry, the world is about to learn a little more about the man behind the charm, the truth behind the facade." He shifts uncomfortably, and I can see the veneer of confidence crack as I pull the strings of our little game. "What are you talking about?" he asks, but the edge in his voice tells me he knows. He is as aware as I am that the cameras are rolling, capturing every flicker of doubt that crosses his face. I smirk, relishing the power that courses through me. Just a little surprise for our viewers. You know, the ones who admire your success. The live stream begins, a red light blinking ominously, and I can feel the weight of the world watching our every move. It's a heady sensation, one that ignites something fierce within me. I am no longer just a woman scorned. I am the master of this narrative, and every word that spills from my lips will pull him. I can feel the tension hang in the air like the scent of rain before a storm. Larry stands before me, his polished veneer starting to crack under the pressure. The cameras, those relentless eyes, capture every nuance, every flicker of doubt that crosses his face is a small victory for me. I lean in closer, letting my voice drip honeyed venom. You see, Larry, it's not just my word against yours anymore. I pause, letting the weight of my words settle like a heavy fog. I've got receipts. With a swift movement, I pull out my phone, the screen illuminating with evidence of his treachery. Screenshots of flirty messages exchanged with Becky, the audacity of their plans laid bare beneath the glow of the live stream feed. I can hear the collective gasp from the virtual audience, their intrigue palpable, like a live wire humming in the air between us. Remember this little gem, I taunt, holding my phone aloft. Your charming words, Larry, when you thought I was too occupied to notice your little escapades. His smile falters, a mere flicker, yet it's enough to send a rush of adrenaline coursing through me. I can almost taste the victory, sweet and intoxicating. It's all a misunderstanding, Natalie, he stammers, his facade slipping further. Those texts were what? Just a friendly check-in. I cut him off, relishing the irony. The very charm that once captivated me now feels like a noose tightening around his neck. You were checking in on your best friend's well-being while you were in her bed. How thoughtful. Larry opens his mouth to protest, but the words die on his lips as I press forward, unrelenting. Let's not forget the photos, shall we? The ones where you two thought you could keep your little affair under wraps while I was busy building your empire. I swipe through the images, the audience's reactions lighting up the chat like fireworks. Each message, each snapshot, is a dagger aimed at his carefully constructed image. I watch him deflate, the vibrant colors of his charm fading to grayscale. You think you can charm your way out of this one? The audience sees you for what you really are, a fraud. My voice rings out, steady and unwavering. I am not just reclaiming my narrative, I am shattering his illusion in front of the very world that once revered him. The live feed pulses with energy, viewers reacting in real time, their comments scrolling faster than I can read. What a jerk! I can't believe he would do that. Team Natalie all the way. This is the tidal wave I envisioned, a sea of support crashing down on him while I stand unyielding, a lighthouse in the storm. His confidence crumbles, and I relish the sight of the man who once held my heart turning into a cornered animal, defensive and desperate. You're being ridiculous, Natalie. He snaps, flailing to regain control. You're just trying to hurt me because of your insecurities. Insecurities. The word hangs in the air, but I've already transformed my vulnerabilities into weapons. No, Larry, I respond, my voice low and fierce. This is about power. My power. The air in the private livestream suite crackles with electric anticipation, a heady mix of adrenaline and vindication. This is my moment, the culmination of meticulously plotted revenge dressed in the guise of empowerment. The cameras are rolling, the audience is watching, and I am ready to deliver a monologue that will pierce through the remnants of Larry's carefully constructed image. I step forward, the glow of the lights illuminating my face, casting shadows that dance across my features. I am not the woman you once knew, Larry. I begin, my voice steady and resonant. I am not the naive little girl who believed your lies, not anymore. The tension between us thickens, a palpable force that pulls at the corners of my mouth, urging a smile. You thought I would crumble under the weight of your betrayal, didn't you? That I would wallow in self-pity, drowning in a sea of chocolate and tears. But here's the kicker, I didn't just survive, I evolved. I can see the flicker of panic in his eyes, a realization dawning that he is losing control. Natalie, this isn't necessary, he tries, but I can't help but laugh, a sharp, mocking sound. Necessary? Oh, darling, this is far beyond necessity. It's a reckoning. I step closer, my gaze locking onto his, unyielding. You thought you could play me like a game of chess, but you underestimated my strategic prowess. Each move I made, each whisper in the dark, was a calculated step towards this very moment. The audience is captivated, their reactions flowing in a stream of support. I can almost hear their gasps, their cheers echoing in my mind, fueling my fire. I know what you did, Larry. I know how you smiled at me while plotting my downfall with my so-called best friend. With each word, I feel more alive, more powerful, like a phoenix rising from the ashes of betrayal. You thought I was just a marketing exec, didn't you? Just another cog in the wheel of your impressive empire. But let me tell you, I am a force of nature. I've taken my pain and transformed it into something beautiful, something lethal. Larry's facade is crumbling before me, the charming businessman stripped bare of his armor. You're making a mistake, Natalie, he stammers, desperation creeping into his voice as he flails for control. A mistake, I scoff, relishing the moment. No, Larry, the only mistake was thinking I would silently accept your betrayal. I am not just reclaiming my narrative, I am redefining my identity. The cameras capture the way he shifts uncomfortably, the color draining from his face as the reality of his situation settles in. You can't silence me anymore. The world will see you for who you truly are, a coward hiding behind a mask of charm. And I lean in, my voice a sultry whisper. I am the woman who took her power back. I am the last laugh echoing in a room full of your admirers. As I finish, I can feel the energy in the room shift, the tide turning in my favor. Larry stands before me, stripped of his confidence, and I revel in the knowledge that I've orchestrated this downfall with precision and flair. The audience is mine, all mine. You've come to the end of our story, a story where Natalie's journey struck a nerve. If you've ever had to rebuild yourself from the ashes of someone else's disrespect, then tell me in the comments, what would you've done in her shoes? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unfiltered stories where women don't just survive betrayal, they weaponize it.